Hey, what's up, good people? It's Jay Ray, the co host of Q Points, and I wanted to come to you because there are two really important ways that you can support our show. One is by subscribing to it wherever you listen to or watch your podcasts. Q Points is pretty much everywhere. The other thing that you can do is you can visit us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and on Podchaser, and you can leave us a star rating. Please rate us 5 stars because you know you love Q Points. And on Apple Podcasts and on Podchaser, you can actually leave us a written review. It's not required, but it really does help to spread the word about the show, and it helps people to discover it as they're looking for new podcasts to listen to. We're always appreciative of you supporting Q Points. We thank you so much for all that you've done for us so far, and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Q Points. I am Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, also known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. What's happening, good folks? I was just so happy to see
I
everyone.
thought you burned yourself on one of the many candles you have in
Right.
your studio. I was like, oh, he had to stand back and catch himself. I was so hot. But yes, you are in tune to the hottest podcast around, Q Points, your safe space for meaningful discussion about Black music and Black artistry. Jay, how has your week been?
My week has been really busy. So we're going to talk about the calendar and all the stuff we have coming up. But so there's been that stuff, but there's also been some really cool work stuff that's happened too. So overall, my week has been good. How are you, Sir Daniel? Are you COVID free now?
I am COVID free. I've returned to work. I am gun shy, so I'm wearing my mask at all times while I'm at work. But it's the same as it ever was. My energy is. I know y'all haven't seen a lot of reels this week from me because I'm trying to get my body acclimated to going back to work and being face to face with people. But I'm here. It's all good, and I feel great. I do, before we go on any further, J. Ray, I want us to hold space for Brittany Griner. The verdict came down that she received 9 years. She was sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison for basically carrying around vape pens, which is something that people do here every day. It may have had some marijuana oil in it, but it's really crazy how 9 years we expected. I think people are really shocked because we were expecting her to receive some type of leniency because she pled guilty. But 9 years, I guess, to them is lenient.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. When I heard that verdict come down, life comes at you so fast, man.
Quickly.
And she was going there to do the work that she loves.
Mm-hmm.
She was carrying a vape pen that, like you said, here in the States, we do that regularly, but it's so much bad that has happened with regard to that. And I agree. I just want to send love to Brittany and her family and friends because I don't even know what to say. Like, that is nuts to me.
And I felt like this was going to happen because of the political climate, because of the war climate. That she was going to get used and get caught up, and basically be used like this. And it's very sad. So yes, I wanted us to just hold space for her. To put it out there that, for people to put good energy out there until she gets back home and not to stop. Because, Black women in the United States, as we're going to discuss later on, can be treated quite unfairly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can only imagine in countries where you are definitely the minority and you have a white supremacist, well, basically a white supremacist country culture. I can like seeing her being led the way she's led in chains and shackles like livestock. Every
Mm-hmm.
time I see that, I cringe the way they lead her around like she's some type of bull being
Yeah.
led to slaughter. I cringe
Yeah.
every single time. But yes, we are. We're gonna keep praying until something happens for real for Brittany Griner. And yeah, so that's a whole lot.
Yeah, and one other thing too, for folks who might be listening, and let me before we do that, definitely sending love to Carlton and Trey or in the
Absolutely.
chat. Yeah,
Thank you
Trey,
for Trey.
this verdict is nuts. If there are folks listening and are doing any work activism around this and need to get the word out, I mean, we here at Q Points, this is what we're here for. So if there's anything that we can do as a show, make sure that you hit up our email, Q, that's the letter Q, points the show at gmail.com, because we certainly want to spread the word.
Absolutely. And it stuff like that kind of makes things that have been happening here on stateside look real silly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this Wiz Khalifa in the club throwing a tantrum, you know, and insulting the DJ and, you know, um, smacking his hand off of the equipment and, things like that. In this environment, it's not safe, one. And two, it's so disrespectful. So disrespectful. I don't think there's a DJ that I follow that has not vowed to stop playing anything Wiz Khalifa related because of this particular event. I don't know if you guys saw he was in a club. I guess the DJ, he wanted the DJ to play his music. And, I don't know exactly, I can't even remember exactly what transpired, but it was a lot of very disrespectful rhetoric being spit on the mic. And the DJ folded up his laptop and walked away because he was just being disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's just a lot of clownery. I feel, J Ray, there's an environment that has been created where a lot of people don't have the same type of reverence or respect. And maybe reverence is too strong of a word, but just plain respect for DJs and the art of DJing. I've said this time and time again. I believe that the way things are so on demand, music is on demand. This we're in a playlist culture now,
Mm-hmm.
so everybody gets to play DJ
Mm-hmm.
and think, oh well, this is I know the perfect song to play here. We're in the culture where people go up to the DJ booth and stand there and will hold a phone up to the DJ booth with a picture of a song or that you want played next, regardless of what the vibe is being set. And they want it now kind of thing. And so now it's venturing off into this place where people think they can get physical, they can
Mm.
touch, they can throw drinks or pour drinks on your equipment. It's getting out of hand. It's super out of hand.
That I couldn't imagine, first of all, being a DJ. God bless you, DJ Sir Daniel. I couldn't imagine being a DJ and somebody is like attempting to one, assault me or destroy my very expensive equipment that is also my livelihood. You don't want that smoke. Like you
At all.
don't want that smoke. This is such you're right. It's a weird time that we're in, and we need to put this in context. This is a thing that we do here on Q Points. Listen, y'all, the DJ is so important to our lives, particularly as it relates to hip hop culture. If you look at the history of hip hop, it was the DJ that was the draw at first. The rapper became the draw later. You were 7 years in, 8 years in before the rapper was the star. The DJ's name was first. What is the name of the group that Will Smith was in? DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. It was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. So this is, yeah, I read about what happened. I didn't see the video. I read about what happened. I just didn't click play on the video. The video was there. I was like, you know what? I read this. It's fine. Eric B and Rakim. Thank you, Carlton. You know what I'm saying? So it was disrespectful. No matter what happened, there is a way to recover from any types of things that happen on stage. It's what professionals do all the time. Equipments mess up, cues get missed, stuff happens, people can't hear. Who was homeboy at the BET Awards that couldn't hear?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Things happen. As a professional, you figure it out.
But to that point, J Ray, it wasn't a performance. This was a club appearance.
Oh,
And I guess Wiz Khalifa had new music that he felt like, hey, nothing else should be playing except my new joints.
yeah.
That nobody now, mind you, think about it, folks. You're going to a club because you want to hear music that is familiar to you, that will you're dancing, then all of a sudden here comes Wiz Khalifa high off or whatever, saying that I'm being paid to be here because I've got new music and you all need to hear it. I don't give a what this guy is playing. He needs to have my music. He don't have all my new music, and that's whack. He's whack. I'm gonna hit him upside the head. All kinds of. I got the Thule on me if I need to. Y'all gonna get this new music tonight. Do you really feel like you're in a festive mood after somebody has berated another human being in front of them like that and has told you, oh, I don't care what you want to hear right now, but you're going to get into this new music, even though you've never heard it.
Right.
So you're probably just going to be standing there holding your drink, looking up like, okay, okay, cool. So what else is next? That's not what people came in there for.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable. That's not the way. That's one. It's just not the way you talk to people and treat folks. And yeah, no. And the DJ matters. The DJ is really, really important. And Atlanta lost a really important person in DJ culture this week.
Absolutely. I could tell you one thing. Wiz Khalifa would have never have gotten away with that with DJ David Collins Cowboy. Never. First of all, DJ Cowboy is from Chicago, so
They don't play that in Chicago.
it's not going to go down like that. But yeah, but in all seriousness, I DJ Cowboy was already a Chicago legend as far spinning in clubs and whatnot. He moved here in '97 and became a part of the V103 DJ pool. V103, like, for those who don't know, when radio was popping in Atlanta, if you were black and a black performer and you wanted your music heard, V103 was your stop. And if you were a DJ at V103, artists were clamoring to get their records in a DJ's hand over there. So I just want to set the stage of how it was popping, in '97, in the early 2000s to the early 2000s. And DJ Cowboy was a part of that scene, bringing his Midwestern influence, the North influence of bringing there was that migration, okay? In Atlanta, right after the Olympics, there was a huge migration of people from other parts of the country, including New York, DC, Chicago. And of course, all of those people brought their flavor or wanted to hear their kind of music that they wanted to hear. And so now you've got DJ Cowboy, who's a part of that mix, who is setting clubs on fire with this, with the Northern, well, I think that was Frank Ski's party was Northern Exposure, but he may have been spinning at one of those parties as well. I can't remember. But bringing that music, the house, especially house music that people love, the Chicagoans and they live here now, of course DJ Cowboy would shut it down, and he was just a very skillful DJ. I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram at DJ Sir Daniel, but I have a clip of the very last time I saw DJ Cowboy. He spun a set at Wax Fundamentals, very first Fundamentals 3 years ago. I ran into him at a record store, and on the humble was like, "Hey, how you been doing? Blah blah blah." Because I worked at the radio station at that time, so he knew me. And I told him, "Hey, this is what I'm doing," and he was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like fun. I'll come through." Now, mind you, this is for a all vinyl set, so he's got to bring vinyl. He's got to go digging for vinyl, and he doesn't. This is at a record store. He doesn't even know the record store. He doesn't know. He doesn't even know the crew. He just knows me, and he just did that on the humble, on the strength of DJ culture, and someone asking him to, "Hey, do you mind slinging a few records at our opening event?" And he did that. I've been able to watch him play several times, and Atlanta truly is going to miss that DJ legend. He was also a part of. So DJ crews was starting to form in the early 2000s here in Atlanta, and he was a part of the Super Friends.
The infamous Super Friends.
The infamous Super Friends. And the Super Friends, there's a long list of your favorite DJ that started out as a Super Friend. And so he was a part of that roster. So I just wanted to, that was just thank you for indulging me for a few minutes. But yeah, I couldn't let that moment go by without giving him some props, because before I even I always had like secret desires to DJ, but before I even had the aspiration or the skills or even the equipment, I was watching these guys firsthand, like standing behind them, watching them rock. DJ Cowboy, DJ Chip, DJ Herb. I mean, Tommy Fix. These are legends, y'all. Trust me. If you were fortunate enough to be alive in Atlanta from the mid 90s to the early 2000s, you got your fix with these brothers and some of these sisters as well. Yes. So DJing is very important to this culture, and Q Points, we're going to stay on y'all necks when it comes to this culture. And that's why our calendar, if y'all go to our website, our calendar is super, super beefy right now.
Booked and busy. So here are some things we definitely want y'all to be in the mix on. So this weekend, my goodness. So noon on Saturday, DJ Sir Daniel is doing Sugar Honey on the Rocks, the City Girls edition.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm going to be here in Philadelphia. This is my first showing of art in Philly. Is happening this weekend.
I can't believe you haven't done it yet. You've been home for a minute.
Yeah, almost 3 years. I haven't shown anything in over 2. And I've never shown anything here in Philly. And so that's going to happen starting from 5 to 8 at the Bike Stop on Saturday. The Bike Stop is a leather bar, so gird your loins, kids. And I'm going to be on the 3rd floor, and I'm excited to kind of show a retrospective of some work, as well as a couple of new pieces that I've done. And then, we got so next week, which is dope. Hip hop's birthday is next week. So I know y'all have been like, are y'all gonna have like a Beyonce sort of conversation? Not really, but kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to answer some questions and things that have been sparked since the release of the Beyonce record and the Drake record. So we're going to have DJ Artistic joining us next Thursday on Hip Hop's birthday. So y'all need to be here for that. But before that happens, earlier in the day, I am going to be in dialogue for Counter Narrative Project with Dr. Antonia Randolph, who's an amazing hip hop researcher, Black masculinity researcher, researcher, and we're going to be talking about hip hop culture and HIV messages in the music. So that's the conversation that we're going to have on Hip Hop's birthday. And I'm super looking forward to that. So I'll make sure that there's a link to that in the description. And then we got Saint Smith coming through, and then we got, who else is coming through? We got
Jay Nolan.
Jay Nolan is coming through. Like, it is on and popping, and we got somebody who's coming through, but I can't announce that yet. But they confirmed that they're coming. So I know. It's like, who is it, everyone? But we can't say
I don't even know.
Yes, you do know. Sir Daniel knows who it is, y'all. And so yeah, shout out to Saint Smith, Jay Nolan, and DJ Artistic for falling through Q Points this month and hanging out with us. It's going to be a super exciting month. But check out the calendar. It's all there. We got plenty going on. So I got a question for you, Sir Daniel.
Yes, sir. What's up?
What's up with the monkeypox vaccine this week? We've been catching up with you for the last 2 weeks. We're on week 3. What's happening?
Well, in the ongoing saga of can I get my monkeypox vaccination? So first of all, what's up, Wani? We see you. Yes, thank you, Carlton. Thank you for all the love that you guys have been showing us in the chat. Yes, and I feel great, Trey. Thank you for asking. So what this has done, what this whole situation with monkeypox, because the marketing, the media has turned this into a gay disease and has turned it into a sexualized disease. What it has done for a lot of my friends and a lot of people that I'm in community with, it has caused us to join forces in finding these resources and sharing it with each other. So my best friend, one of my closest friends, hit me up today, was like, here, quick, call this number. I got an appointment. Call it now, call it. And I called it. It's way out in another county. Like, I'm sure outside of Atlanta, an hour at least for us to get there.
Wow.
But I called the number and I was able to get an appointment for this vaccination. So it's good, but it's still kind of weird how the metro area is still struggling to get people in line for vaccination or to address the whole situation. But again, what you all have caused is for community to link and for people to excellent, Carlton, for people to find resources and share it with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And call people up and be like, hey, did you see it? Okay, call this number right now. They may have a couple more slots available. A good friend of mine, another podcaster by the name of Jimmy, Grab You Jimmy, mm-hmm. He hit me up and he was like, he's been texting me links and phone numbers. And so that part has been so heartwarming. And it's mm-hmm. like, you know what? Regardless of what's going on outside in the world, we can still hold on to community. We can still hold on to each other and lift each other up and, help each other out as much as we can in this situation. And I love that for us.
Yes. Y'all, I mean, I know I said this last week, but it's true. I cannot believe that almost 3 years after COVID-19, we are still repeating the same thing that happened the last time. I don't understand that.
How things in your neck of the woods as far as
the same. So it is hard to get appointments. There's a whole list of questions. We're not even getting into the insane questionnaire. There's that, but then there's also just not enough access. We just need to have like a side. Y'all need to come to Q Points after dark, and we just all need to talk about what's really
Those
going on.
questions.
Those
Oh my
questions,
God.
the questions, kids, the
If I wore
questions.
if I wore pearls,
You
I
be
would be clutching them right now. Excuse
clutching
me?
them. So
Yikes.
I can't believe that. So, but so lot of stuff happening. One of the things that has happened, this is outside of monkeypox, but y'all know we weren't live last week
Mm-hmm.
because Q Points was at Rec Philly's podcast. It was a big, huge podcast event. And it was their first one that they had done, and they had an open house. And we had such a good time. So shout out to the amazing folks over at Rec Philly. Shout out to Scarlett for really thinking about Q Points and really, really giving us an opportunity to be in the mix. We had a dope table. We got an opportunity to get on stage and talk about the show to the folks that were attending. It was an amazing crowd and it was beautiful. So we really, really had a good time, and it was nice to be out with some other podcasters. We are the misfits. It was
Mm-hmm.
we were there, we were scrappy,
Yeah,
and we were
yeah.
had our podcast to talk about, and we're trying to change the world. And that was super dope. It was nice to
And
meet some other podcasters.
and real quick, shout out to you, J Ray, because all of that happened because of you. You were there holding it down because I was unable to teleport to Philly that night. However, I could tell y'all in real time, I knew J Ray was doing the thing because our Q Points account kept notifications kept binging with new followers. I was like, and another one, thank you, and another one, thank you, and another one, thank you. We would listen, and we appreciate it.
We
We really
do.
do. So we are going to continue providing you with, like I said, with meaningful conversations. And again, yes, we're the underdogs right now, but you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Underdogs always have a way of coming out on top
Mm-hmm.
and making a way for themselves. And that is why our discussion this evening is about, of course, Kelis. And of course, we all know, yes, there's a huge um, glittery silver, not even an elephant, it's a horse, a
Right.
diamond horse in the middle of the room. We understand what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
We know what happened. Things were said, and that could have been done differently.
Mm-hmm.
But two things can be true at the same time. But one thing that we are not going to allow, or we're not going to participate in, is the erasure of a woman's hard work and her contributions to this culture.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kelis Rogers has left her mark on our culture, whether y'all want to give it up to her or not right now, because y'all feelings are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Just what I'm gonna say about that. Excuse me. However,
Yes.
when I think
Okay.
about Kelis, I think about, first of all, August 9th here in Atlanta. We are about to be blessed because Tennessee Slim herself, Star Kitty, Joy, is going to be putting on a performance here in Atlanta. And when I cannot think of Kelis and not think of Joy
Mm-hmm.
and not think of Betty Davis, rest her soul.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are the types of women who didn't follow the rules, who came out with either their hair shaved completely off
Mm-hmm.
or with their hair completely blown out, curly and wild and free. And they created this lane that straddled traditional R&B, but rock and roll and pop. And it's a lane not necessarily traveled well or traveled frequently.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the road less traveled because it is not a pretty lane to travel, because the lane that we're talking about is truly where the women, these women that we're talking about, were empowered and emboldened to do their style of art their way, and they weren't scared to do, well, I won't say scared because who knows what they were feeling, but they were definitely committed to doing it their way. And so yeah, artists like Kelis. First of all, before we jump head right into this, y'all need to go see Joy. If you listening to this and you in Atlanta and you
Get them
hear
tickets.
and get them tickets, if you hear the words coming out of our mouths, go and see Joy perform. Because if you're like, oh my God, I'm really, really into Kelis, then you're kind of really into Joy too. So you should just kind of go because
Absolutely.
this is the lineage, right? But okay. So in thinking about, Kelis, I will never forget, it was definitely BET. And this woman actually was a young girl. She was younger then. She was probably still a teenager then.
17, 18. Yeah.
17, 18, with this really curly, colorful hair, started screaming at me through the TV about, I hate you so much right now. But at the top of her lungs, I was like, this is not good for the voice. Who is this woman? But I was captivated by it because I'm like, no one's doing that. In 1999, nobody was doing that.
At all. And so you're referring to a performance on, well, the video on BET. I'll take it back just to even to like 98. So the Neptunes are making their mark, and I'm watching their videos, and I see this young lady. She's laid back. She's like the coolest chick in the video. Again, the wild, colorful, crazy hair. And you're like, who is that? Because you start recognizing people over and over again. And then God rest his soul, Old Dirty Bastards, I Got Your Money video comes out. And who's that singing the hook? Hey, dirty. Everything, and along with the double claps,
Yeah.
that's what you sing along with. You know that hook, and you know the double claps, and that is Kelis. I will say, so yes, she was in the lap dance video, but that wasn't her on the hook. That was Vita. Vita from the Murders.
Yeah, she's Murder. She's a Murder Inc.
Murder Inc. Right.
Yep.
Well, I think was she Murder Inc. back then? But anyway, so it was Vita. Vita, who of course was in the in Belly and gained some popularity from that. But so yeah, so the Old Dirty Bastard video hit, and I will venture out to say that whole formula of introducing a chanteuse, a young songstress, by getting them to sing on the popular hooks of rappers, people caught on to that formula real quick.
Yeah.
Because they saw how well it worked. So you heard Kelis on Old Dirty Bastard. You heard Kelis singing on Angie Martinez's record, who is we all know who Angie Martinez is. We heard her singing on the hooks for the Clips, everybody that was on Star Trek. You heard her singing on every hook you can imagine, Busta Rhymes, any and everyone in hip hop. Kelis was the it girl. That is who you wanted on your record.
Yeah. She infused her cool, because her voice is very unique.
Yes.
Like you listen to a Kelis voice, and it's one of the things I enjoy. It's not a traditional, she doesn't have a traditional singing sound, and it's very distinct. It's also very cool, and it has that right amount of grit. It's like listening to New York City. It's like you're listening to New York City.
I love that. I love that description.
Yeah, that's really what it sounded like. Like you're listening to this New York City through this black woman's voice. And so during that period of time of her initial introduction, yeah, it was like, to your point, sir, then you follow the line to who that though. Yes, this song is dope. Who was that?
Who is that young lady? Um, and of course, when you, like you said, when Caught Out There, which is the song you were referring
Mm-hmm.
to, that with the hook, I hate you so much right now.
Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing program directors at the radio stations that I was working at kind of looking at the record and thinking, is this supposed to sound like this? Like, there's no way. You can see the puzzlement on their in their voices. You can hear it. They were like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but people seem to like it, and the reaction is there. Every DJ was given the Caught Out There record, and they put it in their mixes, and you couldn't tell me if there wasn't a young woman that was not yelling at the top of her lungs along with Kelis, I hate you so much right now. I've seen it in the club when the DJ pulls down the fader, you can hear the crowd.
Yeah.
I hate you so much right now. I hate you so. It's a thing.
Is
So
a
you could
thing.
not. She was undeniable. But when it came time for the second release, I want to talk about. Let's spend some time with Caught Out. Not Caught Out There, but Get Along with You real quick. Get Along with You. One is probably one of the most prettiest and haunting records ever created. That's Sir Daniel speaking.
Mm-hmm.
But then we got this video that black music has not seen the likes of yet.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, I remember seeing it. So it's funny that you described that experience of like, is it supposed to be like this? Because I literally was watching that video like, did Tim Burton do this? Like, how
Right.
did they get here? Like, how did they get here?
Mhm.
Um, but I want to pull some lyrics from Get Along with You really quick because this shit goes so hard to me. Try me, cause I'd be the one that makes you happy. But the part I don't get is why me, you deny me. Now I'm forced to roam this planet sadly, lonely like some loose baguette. What?
I was like, excuse me?
How dare you write these beautiful words?
Sad and lonely like some loose baguette. Like a loose I'm just running around here like a loose diamond.
Yeah.
Like but think about it, I'm a loose diamond. She knows she's beautiful.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that you had something beautiful. Now I'm just like a loose diamond rolling around here. But yeah, taking a lot of risks because that was not our. I also started working in a record store at that time, and also saw people like, well, where do we put this? Because it's not traditional R&B,
Right.
but she's black.
Right.
She's black,
So,
definitely black.
so it's like we supposed to put it in the R&B section, but that don't make sense.
Right. And so, hey, what's up, Gil? I see you. And B Rock, I also see you
Mm-hmm.
out there. We got a lot of our friends, a lot
Yeah.
of our people are tuning in tonight, so we appreciate y'all. I know this is the Kelis crowd right here.
Right.
But but yeah, just that when you do things like that, when you're an artist that take risks like that, it's like the saying that the kids are saying now, be you, everybody else will adjust. The industry had to adjust.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't happen unless you take a big chance and you do it well to the best of your ability and people take notice, and that's exactly what that young lady did. So fast forwarding to her sophomore release,
Mm-hmm.
Wonderland.
Yep.
I will never forget, we were fiending for that album.
Yep.
We had so many release dates, and this is when I was working at HMV. We had so many release dates on the chalkboard. It's like we kept the title up there, and we had to just keep erasing the date of when it was going to be released.
Yeah.
And then finally, the label went ahead and said, "Oh, this is not coming out here in the United States," because she was on Virgin Records. you
Yeah.
had to get the imported version and pay a little more for that record.
Oh yeah, I did that. I absolutely got Wonderland in 2001, I think it was.
Yep.
I think from HMV. It was super expensive. It might have been like $40. It was
I would say maybe 25. I
no,
remember
I feel like it was more than that. Like it was
Oh
like
wow, okay.
it felt very pricey.
I'm thinking about my discount. Never mind. Sorry.
Right, yes. My brother, I'm sure, still has that CD somewhere. But I remember I was thoroughly enthralled by Wonderland. Like very much like the first record, even though I felt like Wonderland was a better collection of songs.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, they figured this out. Why didn't they release this here in the United States? I don't know that we've ever gotten an actual answer to that question, but I will tell you, Flashback, the moment that joint shuffled up on that
Yes.
album, I was like, this a hit. Like, why didn't they release this album? And Sir
I'm a
Daniel,
junkie.
I'm a
All of that stuff.
Popular Thug.
Which we saw, which had a version with the clips,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got introduced to the new power couple, a hip hop power couple
Mm-hmm.
of Nas and Kelis,
Nas and
and that's a
Kelis.
whole other story to talk about.
Right.
But yeah, I brought up Wonderland specifically because here in the United States, when it comes to homegrown talent, especially black homegrown talent, so many times that talent has to go outside of the country in order to be appreciated. Up until the day of the incident that will live in infamy for a lot of the Beehive, the
Mm-hmm.
day of the incident, she had just come off stage
Right.
overseas.
She literally said
'Cause
that like I just got off
I just
stage.
got off stage, and there's footage to prove that she just got off the stage. And there is Khalees, I think might be, the one of the it girls that discovered the overseas bag
Yeah.
and never stopped getting the overseas bag continuously to this day. Does dates overseas. She's featured in the Epics D documentary series Women Who Rock, and part of her discussion is the fact that there were places like Nuremberg, Germany, where no other black female performer had stepped on stage there or at this particular festival. That's a lonely road,
Yeah.
but somebody did it. Somebody walked that road. There are women before her that did it, a la Josephine Baker,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Diana
countless
Ross,
times.
like literally, is following that road in 2022. She
Mm,
started her thank you tour overseas. Like if you look at her social media, it's all of
yeah,
these dates in Europe. Khalees, unfortunately, and you were right on the money, we don't always serve our talent well here and give them the opportunities and the pay that they deserve to be able to make the living that they need to make here. The reason why Brittany Griner was on a plane on her way to Russia is she couldn't make enough money here
that's it.
to not have to play over there. She played over there to supplement her income.
That's right.
We do this thing with our talent, and we see this a lot in music. There was always the conversation of, listen, I had to go and get hot in Europe, and then my
Pop
folks
over here.
here started to pop my stuff, but I'm from here. But I had to
From here.
break there and then come back. And
Which
Khalees is one of those folks.
which also leads to another conversation because everybody loves dance music now, apparently.
Apparently, it's a thing that everybody's been into.
But in the early 2000s, because Khalees had to go overseas, Khalees started showing up on a
Yep.
lot of these DJs remixes and
Yep.
songs like your David Guetta's.
Mm-hmm.
Before David Guetta came over here,
Yep.
she went over there and was singing on his records and other DJs like that, and doing a lot of dance music, which got a lot of critique because it's like, oh, you're not making music for the hood no more. But I had to make a living, you know?
Sir Daniel, if one of the most frustrating things I think in the conversation that we're currently having, I'm happy that we're having the moment that we are with the Drake record and the Beyonce record. I am happy about it. But what I am frustrated by is, let's take Kelis as a perfect example. Flesh Tone had to happen at that point in her career. She needed the money. And she needed, and that was what was going to make her, that was what was going to continue her career overseas and allow her to still be a working artist. She got so much critique, and oftentimes we've done that, of critiquing our folks when they step out of what we consider to be the norm and go and do something else. That, here's the thing, and go do something else that we don't necessarily see here. So I want to finish that thought. But here's the thing. White women have been riding this wave forever and winning awards and getting acclaim. You have your Kylie Minogues, you have your Jessie Wares, you have your Chers, you have your all of these Britney Spears. What they all do is they're like, listen, I need to make a quick buck. Let me drop a dance record. Why is it such a thing that we have to make a big deal out of Drake and Beyonce doing dance records when it's like, for one, it's our music, and two, it is a tried and true formula. It is not out of the box, y'all. What Beyonce is doing, what Drake is doing is not out of the box for what has been done in society. DJ Sir Daniel will be back in a moment, so we'll make sure that we get him back in. But here's the thing. So I see Carlton in the chat. Mary J. Blige did the same thing as well, working with Disclosure. Absolutely. So welcome back, DJ Sir Daniel. And Keys is like, I don't like Drake's. We got a whole conversation that we need to have as a sidebar. But the point I was just filling in on, Sir Daniel, is folks have been doing this forever. And we have to allow our artists the opportunity to, one, explore the multitude of sounds in the Black music canon.
Yes.
Without like digging at them for doing it. This is our stuff too.
Exactly. And not for nothing, the records last longer. The records stand the test of time. Dance records stand the test of time. They just do. They just do. We're, to this day, you can hear people who weren't even born can still saying, oh, I will survive, because that record is older than me, is as old as me. And people younger than me know that song and can sing it because it's just a classic. It was well written for people to remember. It's just an easy, it's easy. It's just easily a good record. But yeah, the whole, it's just weird. I'm glad you brought up Flesh Tone. And just, I think a lot of artists have not had that much diversity in their discography. You know, to me, out of all the Kelis records that I've had, to me, of course, Tasty she was at the height of her superpowers with Tasty. Commercially, working with other producers, Tasty was it. I was looking for Tasty on vinyl, on Discogs.
How much?
It don't start, the cheapest starts at $80.
Wow. And that's probably like real bad quality too. It's like fair.
Right. If you want a very good copy, you're gonna come out the pocket for a vinyl version of Tasty. But because it's a classic record, it's definitely a classic record. But I think when I think about Kelis Was Here,
I like that record.
which was she was on. Was she? I think she
She
was
was
off.
still on. She was still on. She was still on Jive.
She
That was
was
her
Jive.
last.
She was on.
That was her
Yep.
last Jive record. Yeah.
She was on Jive, but she made a complete separation from Star Trek, and
Mm-hmm.
she was working with a whole lot of different producers, including Will I Am.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Raphael
and
Sadiq.
so Raphael Sadiq, the sound was different,
Mm-hmm.
grittier.
Mm-hmm.
She was talking that talk back
Yep.
then, and she changed her look up completely.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a conversation about how her looks have been mimicked throughout people's careers, and and
I
how a
mean,
haircut completely changed the trajectory of somebody else's career. But that's neither here nor there. We
that
still talking about Kelis. We talking about Kelis.
I mean, the receipts exist. We don't have to make it up.
We do not. Again, two things can be true at the same time. Two women can be dope as hell at the same time.
Three,
It's
four, five women can be dope as hell at the same time. Like it was all happening at the same time. What we are saying is that Khalees was one of those women, and we have to
absolutely.
not allow her history to be reduced to an angry black woman who's like had something to say about your fave.
Hmm.
It's much more complicated than that. It's a lot more complicated than that.
A lot more complicated, but a lot of fun to look back on her career and all the songs I'll never forget. And I think I tweeted this. Somebody had the audacity to say that Milkshake was a terrible song.
Really?
Hold on. Somebody on Twitter
Milkshake was
had
a
the audit
terrible song.
had to say, let's be honest, Milkshake is a terrible song. Now, check this out. So, when it did come out, there were some DJs. I'll never forget. I had a conversation with this one DJ in particular, and he literally was like, "Okay, this song is getting a lot of burn." But he said sonically, this song doesn't make sense. And I get what he was saying. He was like, I get it, but I don't. And which is a pattern for Kelis. Is like a lot of the things don't seem to make sense,
Right.
but they did.
Mm-hmm.
And so that record, yes, I think the intro, because it has that infamous Star Trek 4 count
Mm-hmm.
intro,
Mm-hmm.
that has something to do with it. A catchy ass hook
Yep.
that she wrote, a very catchy hook that she
Can you say
wrote,
that? What happened?
a,
Who wrote it?
a very catchy hook that she wrote
Yeah.
for Britney Spears, but ended up singing it. The song was a commercial success. It's been used in countless movies and has been co-opted for various commercial products
Yeah.
as well.
It's selling
So
Bounty. It's selling Bounty paper towels as we speak.
as we speak, but not even that. So I was bringing up the story to say I was at Trax 3021 Lucky Street on a thugged out Tuesday where what's that young Little Scrappy is being played, Little John, all the heavy hitters, everything that you can think of in 2003 that was at the top of the charts, Crime Mob, everybody's knucking and bucking. And at the height, the fever pitch of the evening, the DJ drops Milkshake. I'm here to tell you kids, I saw it with my own eyes. People were working the walls, the kids were scrubbing the ground and losing their minds to Milkshake. It's a documented fact. It is out there. People were losing their minds to Milkshake. They were having a tremendous time enjoying themselves to the Milkshake. Women were able to say, I could teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, all that good stuff. It was an anthem. People lost it. That DJ in that moment when he was playing the song, he brought it back like 4 different times. I'm not talking about 4 times in the night. Like when he dropped it, he kept bringing it back to the and I mean, with each time, I can see people going into a fever pitch. It is the hottest record in the country, top of the charts. She's on SNL,
Mm-hmm.
performing, and at that time performing alongside Andre 3000.
Yeah.
Kids, let's not act like it didn't happen.
It
It's
happens.
well documented, guys. Come on, let's not act like it didn't happen. Kelis is a thing, and she
Khal-
still is a thing.
Khalees is a thing, and going back to your earlier point about stuff can be two things.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is, if you wrote and sang the thing that caused that kind of pandemonium,
Hmm.
and you are not listed as a writer on the thing that caused that much pandemonium and that people love so much, you'd be feeling
You have
ways
an
about
attitude. You would
you'd
have an
be feeling
attitude too.
ways about things too. So all I'm saying with that is we have to grace is okay. It's
Yeah.
okay to be like, yeah, okay. I can see why she mad.
Two things can be true
Two things.
at the same time, people. And yes, words mean things, and two things can be true at the same time. Can we talk about the whole hip hop power couple phenomena also?
I think we should, because they were literally the coolest thing going for however many years that they were married. Like they were it.
I mean, yeah, like, and not for nothing, Nas is a legend,
Mm-hmm.
icon of hip hop. But when you're on the arms of a beautiful woman
Mm-hmm.
who is riding the top of the game at the same time,
Yeah.
your profile gets elevated.
Oh yeah.
Your profile gets elevated, and honest to God, outside of the hip hop circles, I did not see Nas getting as much shine or as much publicity as he did until he linked with Kelis and they became a public thing. They were the it couple.
Mm-hmm.
J Ray, I promise you, I will never forget the day I was working to register at HMV. HMV Records, guys, back in the olden days, was located
During the
was
record
located.
store, in the record store where you buy
Yes,
records.
in the before time, was located in Lenox Mall, which at the time was not the Bang Bang Shoot 'em Up Wild West.
Yeah, that's a new thing, yo.
and and Lenox Mall was like the premier place to hang out and see celebrities because you have all these fancy hotels that were in close proximity to Lenox Mall, and it's in Buckhead.
Mm-hmm.
Buckhead is the money area of Atlanta, supposed to be rich, and again attracted a lot of the industry people
Mm-hmm.
because in 2002 2003 Atlanta is the lightning bolt of black music. It is the black music mecca.
Mm-hmm.
So me and the crew, we just minding our business. Probably nobody was at the register, so we just back to just shooting the shit, just talking. And then all of a sudden, there's like a barrage of people just start coming in the store. And then we see these two people, and we all immediately recognize the hair.
Right.
And all you hear is, oh shit, that's Nas and Kelis. That's Nas and Kelis. And they're just walking around like, just looking around, shopping. She comes to the register and she says in that same smooth,
Right.
raspy voice, "Hi guys, I ordered a CD and I was told that it was ready, for me to pick up." And sure enough, there's a CD there with her name on it. And then she's asking about something else. And then Nas comes up to the register. They kiss. And he asks me, so listen, y'all, I'm gagging.
Right.
Not for nothing. There's no other word to describe it but gagging. And he asked me, he said, "Yo, homeboy, yo, you what kind of movies you recommend? And is do you know about that movie with the girl? She's into S&M. Oh, The Secretary. Yeah, what you know about that? You got that? And so I'm helping Nas find movies, y'all, and the buzz the buzz kind of who is in the mall, like people start motivating to the mall. Next thing you know, there's a crowd of people just hanging out, and kind of like, this is before camera phones.
Right.
That people may have had a flip phone or whatever
Right.
at that time, but this is way before that. So there was no going live. There's no trying to, holding up and getting selfies with Nas and Kelis. People were just gawking and like trying to get autographs and whatnot. But it was just a test. It was just a taste. I experienced just a little taste of the pandemonium and the fandemonium that Nas and Kelis caused together. And I can remember, I don't recall before that, like a hip hop couple that was causing that much ruckus. But, I think then we got the whole term of power couples in hip hop.
Right.
Things kind of happened after that.
Things happened after that.
But, you know, when you're the it girl, when you're that girl, you're that girl. You know what I'm saying? And so Khalees has always been that girl.
Khalees has always been that girl. And can we talk about the fact that despite all of the things that have happened, right? She has carved out an entirely different career and life for herself that always seems so zen. We have to send love to her because she just lost her husband, who she'd been married to for a long time. But she carved out this life for herself that centered a thing that she loved with food, writing cookbooks, living on a farm,
Becoming a chef.
going back to school and just becoming a chef. Y'all, you always there listen, there are times in life when sometimes your life comes at you fast and you have to make decisions about what to do. Khalees, throughout her career, has always done what she needed to do. And so that is special. And we have to celebrate that because, you can learn a lot from her. We can learn a lot from her.
We absolutely can. I believe you said it in one of your posts, but what Khalees's experience is true freedom.
Yes.
Like, she was ready. She not ready to give it all away, but she was like, I'm not going to let my experience in this industry dictate the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
She took what she had, what resources she had, and she carved another lane, and has become another, what we like to call a brand today.
Mm-hmm.
But as an artist, that's the freedom that you want to experience. You want to be able to experience and say, you know what? Yeah, sign me up for these dates. I can do these dates.
Yep.
And then the freedom to say, I'm ready. My crops need to be tended to, and I
Mm-hmm.
need to pull up them carrots before the rabbits get to it, and just live the life that you are creating. I think a lot of people want to, like you said in the beginning, want to paint her as the angry black woman, but to the contrary, Khalees is really, I know we like to talk about other people. Well, she don't bother nobody. She was just minding her business. Neither does Khalees. Khalees be sitting chilling.
It's literally on some, I don't even be, why y'all bringing me this? Like, why are y'all bringing me this? I know nothing about that. Like, literally. And we absolutely, that's why we called this show Bountiful Freedom. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because that's really the life that it appears that she's carved out. She's been talking about it for the last several years when she's been doing interviews, and even just watching her navigate the food space and continuing to navigate her music career in the way that she wants. Listen, let's give this. I'm glad that we did this because we wanted to give Kelis her flowers.
Absolutely. And but before we wrap up, I want to say the most important point about everything that's happened within this past week is that she has become galvanized in making a change, and I want to see it come to fruition. I really believe she's going to see it through, but she feels, from what I understand, feels like she's now charged up that she wants to change how things are done in the industry, how artists are treated
Mhm.
within the industry. And sometimes you have to be, catch a few strays, catch some bullets in order to make that change happen. And
Mhm.
so, and I believe, that's the Harlem in her, that Harlem shake, that Harlem hustle is going to make her say, you know what, this has to change, and I'm going to be the one to do it. If I got to be a little unpopular with some people right now, I'm just going to do it. But I really do believe that she is going to change how things are done in the industry, because yes, this was over 20 years ago when her first contract was signed. So, and people are more educated today and have access to things. However, people are still getting jerked,
We
as you will
hear
see
about
in the
it.
comment every day, as y'all will see in the upcoming episodes of Q Points. We're going to be talking about it. People are
Hmm.
still getting jerked out there and taken advantage of. But if I believe that Kelis from Harlem is going to make it happen, I just have that faith in her. And yes, Kelis, here are your flowers from the Q Points crew.
We love you. We love you. We love you. So listen, y'all, here are some things that y'all must do. Make sure that if you like this show, if you like, listen, I really enjoyed Q Points. They dope. Y'all can leave us a tip. Y'all, we got a tip jar over on Patreon. You could just drop us a tip. You could drop us a monthly tip if you want. It helps us to be able to do the things that we're trying to do. Listen, y'all don't understand. We gonna tell you again though, because we've said it several times. We are not sitting behind these cameras doing this for our health. We love
Mm-mm.
doing this show. We love y'all for joining us on this show, and we want to continue doing it. So we are growing. We are committed to growing it, and part of growing it is going to be, additional things that are needed. So if you want to become a full-fledged member and like, yo, I really get down with Q Points, you could become a member on our website. We have some exclusive content that you can access. So please get on that. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and make sure that you leave us a review and a star rating. Make sure that you listen to us. If you're a Spotify person, go ahead, subscribe on Spotify, listen a few times, leave us a star rating over there. Make sure also that if you are not joining us on YouTube, that you go on over to YouTube and subscribe. You really want to get into the YouTube stuff because we have a whole other series of contents that we're just planning for YouTube. So our YouTube is going to start evolving into Q Points extensions. So we got some stuff that we're going to be doing over there. In fact, one of the things we're going to tape right after this. So you're probably wondering what that is.
Mm-mm.
Subscribe to YouTube and find out. And then last but not least, make sure. Oh, we're going to do two things. So before we do that, I'm going to put in, make sure that you RSVP for the conversation that I'm going to have with Dr. Antonia Randolph. And I'm going to put this in the chat right now. I want to type it because I want to make sure that people can do it. CMP Hip Hop Lab 1. Go ahead. Make sure that you RSVP so you can hang out next Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern for this. And also make sure that you follow the homie DJ Sir Daniel on Mixcloud so you can get into Sugar Honey on the Rocks.
Pew! Yes,
Pew,
sir.
pew,
This
pew.
Saturday, this Saturday. So now, when I say City Girls, I'm talking about the OG City Girls. On the mic, this is late '80s, early '90s. Dope hip hop. It's gonna be fun. It's a fun set. Some stuff you probably never heard, some stuff that you may have heard and you forgot about it, but it's all gonna be dope, and you'll be able to check it out on Mixcloud. You'll be able to see me mixing live because I do it's all vinyl
Mm-hmm.
because I'm dope like that. I just like
Mm-hmm.
to have that kind of fun. If you're going to be in the Atlanta area on August 13th, you can come out to JB's Record Lounge because my familia, the Wax Fundamentals crew, is coming back after it's been a brief, quite a bit of hiatus, but we are going back to where we started, JB's Record Lounge, for a dope Saturday afternoon Wax Fundamentals set. I will be posting that information. If you haven't been following me, it is up there, but I'll be posting it again soon. J Ray, dope show.
Dope
We had a
show,
great
man.
show. But what do I always tell the kids? I say, in this life, you can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. Ah! Oh, that kind of hurt.
I telling
I'm
you,
so
like
dead.
when I first heard it, I was like, "Girl, that is not you a singer. You can't be screaming into the mic like that."
Yeah. Ouch. But listen, we love you. I'm DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is J Ray, y'all. Peace.
And this has been Q Points. We out of here. See you next time.